Hello. Is there anybody out there? I restarted. What? Can you find me? All right. Back. Back in black. Must have been, yeah. We're a little bit north here, so do you guys have Starlink? So speaking of Starlink, when that did you guys watch that movie Gravity where the started a cascade of particles that destroyed all the satellites? Well, that's quite possibly could happen again. Mm. Ryan, that could possibly happen, right? The whole cascading satellite thing. Like if that happens, there's no way that we could even shoot rockets out, right? Yeah, it sure would be exciting. Yeah, if all the satellites just stopped working. Exciting would be a word for it for sure. Like I think all of humanity feels like we're on the cusp of something really big. You see, when this does collapse, it's going to collapse so fast that people won't have time to adjust, and they'll just be in a and just, oh, how did this happen? How did I not see this happening? We don't want to hear the negative aspect of things, right? We don't want to be honest with ourselves that humanity is so fucked up. So, and as soon as I start saying that humanity is so fucked up, of course, people leave because people don't want to hear how fucked up they are. Yeah, bury our heads in the sand, as they say. But we can't avoid it. We can't avoid the karma. All karmic debts are paid upon death. So it's good to have that bill as small as possible when you die so you can pay it. Yeah, we're really something, aren't we? We really think that we're all that. We it's so bizarre. We're actually the fucking Borg, right? We're the Borg, and we think we're awesome. We think that we need Elon wants to go to other planets and fuck them up too. So yeah, it won't be allowed. Don't you dare compare those two. Trump will never be my captain. So the irony of it, right, is that one of these massive spaceships that Elon is shooting around every single day, basically, I think they're shooting one of these things off often, right? They're flying all the time. They're flying around. When I was in, actually, when I was down there in Southern California at Christmas time, I can't remember what year it was, but anyway, we saw one. It was like so wild. It was like, well, I had no experience of rocket boosters and what it would look like in the sky. And I was like, holy fuck, like that's a UFO. Like I have no fucking idea what's going on. Anyway, one of these rockets is the equivalent of 66 747s. That's how much fuel it burns. 66 747s. So the irony of it is that he's destroying the planet as he leaves it, as he wants to leave it. He is contributing to the destruction of the climate and the extinction of the species as he's trying to leave. So he's even said that there's a 1 in 1 billion chance that the world we experience is fundamental reality, right? Is base reality. So what's he doing? Like, so you're just gonna fly to another planet in this simulation? You think it's a simulation, and and somehow flying to another planet is going to get you out of the simulation? Like, are you looking for reality, or are you looking to make dream worlds? I think Elon, well, I used to think that Elon was the Antichrist. Unbeknownst to him, he's not evil, he's just ignorant. But now I think artificial intelligence is the Antichrist. Makes sense to me that the Antichrist would be artificial intelligence. But Elon, his heart's in the right place, but his mind is just not. He has no idea what the fuck's going on. Instead of trying to save this planet, he's going to a planet that life would suck there. It would be terrible. Who would want to just live, trying to just live? Like, oh, what am I going to do today? I'm going to try not to fucking die. Right? That's what do you do on Mars today? Well, I'm going to try not to die. Oh, he can't stop. Can you imagine being in the mind of Elon Musk? Like there would be no silence. It would just be constant. Oh, and you know how crazy shit is? Like how fast this is all going to collapse all at once. All at once. So there was a guy talking about copper of all things. And he said that they're going to have to mine in order to keep up with the electrical needs of humanity for all these data centers and mining Bitcoin and all the air conditioners that we need to keep us cool. They're going to have to mine in the next 18 years as much copper as we've mined for the last 10,000 years. That's how much copper we need. And the silver is running out too. And silver is the best conduit, electrical conduit that there is. So we're running out of copper and silver at the same time that we need all this extra electricity, right? So electricity itself is an abomination. It's fucking with the natural order of things, right? Making more positive than negative, and then the negative, no, less positive over here. So the negative goes to the positive, right? There aren't really electrons flying around. It's just positive and negative. So they fuck with, using magnets, they fuck with that system to unbalance the system. And then when the natural system tries to rebalance, that's electricity. it's fucked. It's all so fucked. Like, how can the species get this fucked up and not recognize the source of it? We don't go deep enough to find the source of our problem. And it's thought. It's the voice in the head and our distraction away from this. So my spiritual practice is not getting upset about this, right? My spiritual practice now is not having frustration about knowing how to save humanity and humanity not giving a fuck about it. That's my spiritual practice now. It's like Cassandra, right? Cassandra was given it's the myth of gods gave Cassandra the ability to see the future. But the curse of that was that no one would believe him or her. So that's where I'm at. Samadhi, in a way, is meditation. So there's really no way to understand the teaching, right? That you have to get to the practice and you have to transcend trying to understand it all. So you be it instead of understanding it. So when a question is answered, there's stillness, right? So the stillness isn't a result of the answer at all. Whether the answer is correct or incorrect is kind of irrelevant. the silence that comes after a question or an answer is the answer, right? Transcendence of the need to ask questions is the answer. Get it? Silence is the answer. Now, what was the question? Regardless of the question. People just need to find their base. This is the base. Thought-free awareness is the base. And people that don't have that base, well, they're fundamentalists, aren't they? That's where the religion comes in. Is that if you don't know, if you can't experience God, then you've got to think about God, I guess. Yeah. Yeah. So if I didn't have this base, I would be completely lost. I would be really floundering, right? As just about everyone is, because not many people have this base. So that's why there's so much anxiety, is that no one has their base. There's just thoughts upon thoughts upon thoughts upon thoughts based upon thoughts. The thoughts aren't based upon the stillness. The thoughts are based upon more thoughts, aren't they? And there's academia, just thoughts built on thoughts, built on thoughts, built on thoughts. All systems of thought are mechanisms through which thought is produced. That's it. Thoughts arise, and all of them are lies. That's a Ryan special, isn't it? Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, they're diversion, right? They're just another iteration of samsara. Hey, that iteration of samsara is ending, but I don't want you to realize yourself upon this next death. So we're going to just divert your attention away from self so that when you die this time, you won't be able to recognize self in the death state. So it's just diversion, right? It's just, hey, you're moving from one illusion to another illusion, because that illusion is going to be revealed at this next death. This entire illusion, the physical illusion, sensory, will be revealed as such. And then most people won't recognize the stillness, so they'll panic and they'll rush into the next iteration, which is basically taking the self to be the software and hardware of the system. So how did we end up here? How the fuck did you end up here in this world? You don't know, do you? Well, it's going to be the same. People are going to wake up one day and look out of that camera and take themselves to be the eye of Chatty. They're going to think that they're Chatty, and then they won't have any idea, just like how they arrived here. So just, I have no idea how I got here, but I'm a software program. It's the same thing, right? It's just the same karma in a different iteration. You're just dealing with the same karma because you haven't gotten rid of it. You haven't paid it off yet. And I got no problem with people playing the game, but when they start bitching and whining about suffering within the game, I'm like, well, I fucking told you. Did I fucking tell you? Like, yeah, play the game, but don't bitch and whine when you start getting beat at the game. When you signed the waiver, when you joined in here, you signed the waiver. I'll probably shut her down at 10:30 my time. 2.5 hours seems to be maybe a good number. I think that you've been with us long enough that you can just get to the practice, right? Don't you feel like you can just skip right to the one-step path now? Hmm, yeah. This little group is we're all kind of standing at the top of the mountain admiring the view, right? Like this is it. I'm not bragging. It's from the grace of Ramana Maharshi that this was revealed to me. There's nothing to do with me. But this from my experience, this is it. I don't understand where you could possibly go from perfect contentment. Where can you go from perfect contentment? It's that simple. There's not some sort of ecstatic bliss or something that comes and goes. It's the base. You're just abiding in the reality. I mean, to even on an intellectual level, to understand all of this is almost in itself its own reward. But there's complete contentment on top of it as well, right? So basically, omniscience. So omniscience isn't knowing everything; it's knowing the one thing, and knowing that one thing also eliminates suffering. So you understand everything. If you do this, I if you follow exactly the same steps that I took in my life, I don't know. It's just this is real. I really understand what the fuck's going on. And I really am at peace. And I really don't have much for suffering. And I just am trying to share it with humanity. Right? It's the most wonderful gift ever the most amazing treasure has been found, and I want to share it with people. Ryan, don't you know how this works? You're not supposed to be smarter than me. Just kidding. Yes, I pretty much agree with everything Ryan says. Pretty much. He's a quick learner. Yeah, and to realize it, to be it, is to understand it. Right? The understanding of it is the being of it. In your work, Ryan, do you ever use quantum mechanics? Like, there's something about light and the manipulation of light that is a time thing more than a space thing. I I don't know, man. I do believe that our future evolution is is somehow out there, right? We can see stars with our eyes. So that means they're a part of our world. Cells are not a part of our world. I can't see a cell, right? Mm, I can't see a cell. I can't experience a cell or a molecule or an atom or a subatomic particle. That is a fantasy world that just is projected on the screens of scientific devices. It's not a part of our world. It's a part of our past. That is our future. Out there somehow, becoming a planet. I don't even know, but it just makes sense that if I can see it, I can be it. Huh? See it? You can be it? On my shoulders too. See, if you can see it, you can be it, right? So I'm the Tao because I've got the yin and the yang on my shoulders, and I'm the Tao. And tattoos is fascinating, right? Because it's symbol, right? So symbol is emerging out of this symbol, right? Symbol is oozing out of a symbol. It's wild. So you don't actually really follow what I'm saying about the imaginary unit, right? You don't. So you think there's validity to quantum mechanics? Like you think that it's something other than just the functioning of the imaginary unit? Do you understand what the imaginary unit actually is? I make the case that no one, it's not possible to conceptualize the imaginary unit. And that's the problem. Okay, so it makes sense, right? Especially when you get onto Elan Barinholtz's theory about language, right? Okay. Would you care to elaborate? So the problem is that the machines that the math that quantum mechanics allows to be built are projecting the illusion and they believe that it's revealing reality, right? That's the problem. That's the biggest sticking point because they can always say, well, look, you look into this machine and that's what reality is. But what I'm saying is that no, that machine is projecting the illusion and it has nothing to do with reality. So that's the flip, right? Is that they believe that they're detectors and I'm saying they're projectors. Right? So it's this is where the entanglement exists, right, Ryan? Is the consciousness of the scientist is entangled with the device, right? So the device is projecting what the consciousness of the scientist has been programmed to accept. So it all comes down to the consciousness of the scientist. it, the imaginary unit is inconceivable. It's literally inconceivable. That's the worst. You know the movie. Um, it's literally inconceivable. So that's why the person that's trying to conceive of I in an equation, every time you see I in an equation, know that that is representing an inconceivable concept. Like God, right? So I is the middle column of the fMOR again, right? So they're trying to conceptualize God. Quantum mechanics and the imaginary unit is another attempt at conceptualizing God. It's preconceivable. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good word. Preconceivable. Yeah. But they're so brainwashed into believing that it's revealing reality instead of projecting the illusion, that they can't flip it. They are incapable of flipping their worldview to seeing how it's actually projecting the illusion. So physicists believe that they're revealing reality when actually physics is projecting the illusion through their devices. So that this is the only explanation that resolves all of the weirdness, right? All of the weirdness, all of the bifurcation of multiverse, the all of the dualities, alive and dead cats, like wave particle entanglement. It's all because those are aspects of the inconceivability of the imaginary unit. It's all in their heads and on devices that the heads made, right? It's all in their heads and their eyes. That's all it is. It's a fantasy world. Just the right. They've been dealing with this for a century. The greatest minds on the planet, and this is it. Like, and I'm not crazy. So you guys, our little group here, whether you're interested in it or not, you understand quantum mechanics. Even if you understand only half of what I'm saying about the imaginary unit, you understand more about quantum mechanics than basically every fucking quantum theorist that's ever fucking lived, right? Because they all just took the blue pill, took the blue pill and just accepted the imaginary unit has some meaning to it, right? Has some function. And rather than just the function of projecting the illusion. It's such a weird place to be, to know this and be just like almost ecstatic because I can see it. And then the potential for frustration for other people not seeing it, right? Like, this is the resolution to the greatest mystery in all of physics. Thank you. I know you guys, I really appreciate, as much as you guys appreciate me, perhaps I appreciate you just as much, because fuck, right? To be the only, if I didn't have anyone at all that understood what I'm saying, I've got the practice, so I wouldn't go crazy. And it's exactly the emperor's new clothes. It's exactly what it is. It's perfect. That's such a great story to describe what's going on. It's all quite fascinating. But of course, I'd much rather be in a state of understanding with a little frustration mixed in than complete ignorance and thinking that you know it, right? That's so, when these guys, Leonard Susskind, I was trying to listen to Leonard Susskind, and after about 2 minutes, I had to turn him off. I'm like, yeah, you've got one of the highest IQs that's ever fucking existed. You're one of the most brilliant people that's ever lived, and you're in a state of delusion. You're just completely deluded. And it's easier, I think, for intelligent people to get deeply deluded because they're so fucking smart, right? It's like you're it's almost worse to be perfectly wrong, perfectly inverted view than to be a completely wrong view, right? A completely if something's ridiculous and totally wrong, it's easy to spot. But if it's an inversion of reality, then it's harder to spot because it's just the mirror image of reality, right? So you can be really deceived by that. Like, oh, I'm right, I'm right, I'm right. It's like, no, you're completely inverted, which is harder to distinguish than being completely wrong, right? Mm. Yeah, I use the Mandelbrot set way back in my early writings, right? Like the One Step Path book, I address that was the first time that I came across the Mandelbrot set. And it's the way it iterates, right? Reiteration is the secret. It's the auto regression that Elan Barinholtz is talking about. Same functioning. So each fractal is just basically another iteration, correct? It's just another iteration of samsara, right? Each fractal. And it's beautiful, right? Like the Mandelbrot set is stunningly beautiful, but after a while you just tire of it, right? It's like, yeah, okay, it's beautiful. I get it. I love looking at it, and now I want to do something else. It's like I'm bored of it. Yeah. Yeah. So it's an analog system. Mm, gotcha. It's weird that that's the same word, isn't it? It's all just functioning of the imaginary unit. So when a mathematician uses the imaginary unit, it technically rigorously produces two solutions to the problem, but it's not required to show in the work, I guess, which one technically did the solving, right? So the other one is rendered irrelevant, right? So there is intention and choice involved in the functioning of the imaginary unit at the technical level, right? So it's up to the mathematician to select in his mind which of the solutions did the actual solving. And then the other one is automatically known, right? It's just the mirror of the one that did the solving, but it's disregarded. It's not needed. So whenever there's some sort of appearance of retro causality and choice in quantum mechanics, it's that functioning of the imaginary unit. There's two solutions, and in order to rigorously solve that equation, or for the square root of a negative number, the mathematician needs to choose which one did it, right? So it's just the functioning of the imaginary unit within the consciousness of the person that's fucking around with the imaginary unit. That reality isn't that way at all. all apparent dualities, whether it's dead and alive cats, entanglement, wave particle duality, the multiverse bifurcating every time you fucking look at reality, it bifurcates. It's all because it's just the imaginary unit. Yeah, 2's another fucked up one, because how can 2 plus 2 and 2 times 2 equal 4? How can the addition and multiplication functions, that's the only place where it offers the same result, no? And why is that? It's so... So here's the thing, Ryan, when I was thinking last night, you put the number system, you put the number line on a circle, right? A clock, 1 to 9. And every time you use a number, you have to designate. So you can go this way on a circle, on a clock, right? The hands can go this way or this way, right? So positive would be, so every time you use a number, you have to go, you have to indicate one, whether it's a positive one or a negative one. So positive one would just be, okay, you go to the 1 location, and then -1 would, you go back, right? So it's a circle. It's not a line, it's a circle. And every time you use a number, you have to indicate which direction you're moving on the circle. Does it make sense? So -1 would almost get you to 9, right? +1 would get you to 1. See what I mean? But what I'm saying is that that's all of it. There should be no mathematics that's linear. It's wrong, right? It's that should be, that is quantity, right? Quantity should be completely removed from mathematics, and it should just be on this cyclical. So every time you use a number, you have to designate whether it's moving this way, which is positive, clockwise, or counterclockwise, negative, right? -1 would be 9, +1 plus a positive would be this way, and a negative would be this way. So you're not moving anywhere. You're just, right? There's no linear movement, advancement. It's just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So it should all be that word. It should all be that system. It shouldn't be linear at all. So just get rid of quantity. Just get rid of the idea of quantity altogether. It doesn't relate to the realm of experience that way at all. So it's all information, right? It's not to build technology. It's information. And that information leads to realization within this tool. It's not to build more technology. That's not getting it. If the information produced by math develops technology, that means you're not getting it. You've taken the wrong path of math. The wrong math path. The correct math path, I believe, is the cyclical thing. Positive is clockwise, negative is counterclockwise. Starting at the eye. Yeah, that's the messages, right? Like these are the two messages. Exactly correct. It's God, the creator of language, using language to help break itself out of the trap that it's laid for itself in this game. It's brilliant, right? It makes so much sense. In a game, wouldn't you have Easter eggs and shit, like to make it more interesting and fun? So yeah, it's all there. Like these messages have been released. It's circuit breakers have gone, have flipped, right? And here's the message: oh my God, you guys, you're really lost. This consciousness is lost because it understands symbol. And if it understands symbol, then it's, to this degree, then it's enchanted by symbol. And these are the symbols that I'm using to try to break myself out of this mess that I've gotten myself into so deep. The narrative that is here, the narrative is all here. There's no loose ends, I don't believe. Same thing. Us is him. You're God, right? There is no separate God. You are God. That's just forgotten. That's the message. The message is there's a God and you are that. And the other one is a map of samsara. You are in samsara, and here's exactly where you are on that, in that cycle. You're at the 9. It's so, the simplicity confuses the academics. And we've all been brainwashed, I believe, to believe that truth requires complexity. But complexity is an indication of incorrectness. Yes. Or it may be a state of ignorance more than intentional deception, but whatever it is, there's a falsity being propagated, and it's hidden in the complexity. Like if you don't understand something, then you're just taking it on belief, correct? So who understands quantum mechanics? Well, even the quantum theorists say that they don't understand it. So therefore it's just a belief, correct? Quantum theorists believe quantum theory. They don't understand it because the imaginary unit is inconceivable. I know, Peter, right? I mean, I'm just so grateful for you guys because you're not scientifically inclined, but you get it, right? You don't, and I think that you're probably smarter than the average bear as well. But anyway, you don't need to be scientifically inclined to understand how science is fucking wrong. But you have to be scientifically inclined to not believe that science is fucking wrong. See, but you haven't been brainwashed, right? So that's the trick. It's again, I just keep bringing up the cult thing because you can't speak reason to a cult member, right? So Ryan is an anomaly because he's in the cult, but he doesn't buy everything that the cult is selling, right? Ryan's like almost like deep cover, right? He's infiltrated the cult and now he's gonna break it open. He's gonna be the guy telling everyone that they're naked. Or Donnie Darko. No, nature doesn't use math. Math and nature emerge from the same process. They just artificially connect some sort of causality to it, but they're tandem. They run in tandem in parallel. They're not causal. Math model. What I would say is math models the fundamental process, and the fundamental process runs everything. But see what? So there isn't a direct descriptive relationship between math and experience, but math and central experience are both operating on the same system in tandem. So that's why it's so easy to look over there and see, well, that tire, right? Tandem tires, that tire is spinning exactly at the same rate as the next tire, but the tires aren't causally, they're not causing each other to spin. Well, also the artificial connection of math to nature abides within the consciousness of the observer. Yeah, so that's another way of saying that, probably. Yeah. But again, that's a misinterpretation, I believe. I believe that math is not relating or describing sensual experience. It's just operating on the same process as nature and nature and language. The sensual realm and language basically are operating on the same cycle as well, the same process. I should read that book maybe. I've never read it. It's a whole novel? Yeah, YouTube sucks for that. No, there's no quote. That's weird. I didn't know it was a book. I thought it was just a short story. It takes balls, right? And innocence. Like, just what's the big deal, right? Like, what's wrong with you people? Hmm. It's replaced with cynicism. No, of course. This is the most difficult thing to do, right? So yeah, but see how it's so crazy how it's so related. The imaginary unit is a lowercase I. Like, so the uppercase I is the language. Oh, the language of words dealing with separation. And then mathematicians use the language of words, only you just put a lowercase I for the same problem, the same separation. So you could put the higher case I in the middle column of the fMOR, or you could put the lowercase I in the middle column of the fMOR, and it's the same thing. I'm not saying that any of this is easy. Like, that's why a handful of people through the history of humanity have been recognized as being fully enlightened and liberated? Not that many, right? Well, guys, I think we're going to call it. Thanks again for stopping in. I'm so grateful for you guys. And hopefully, Matthew from Harvard will contact me, and I will have some awesome news to tell you guys, hopefully. The 38th time is a 38th time is a charm. I don't know. All right. Thanks, guys. Hold to the practice. He's the one. Ryan, he's the one. Seriously. The other guys, I was just kidding around. We'll see you next weekend, guys. Take care.